If you saw a book at the bookstore entitled How to Lose It All, would you buy it? Well, you might pick up the book in order to learn what to do. That is, how can I avoid losing it all in life? That's what we want to do with the passage from Habakkuk. God raised up the Babylonians to bring judgment to the surrounding nations for their sins. However, Babylon was motivated purely by greed. We read in chapter 2, verse 5, because he's as greedy as a grave, and like death is never satisfied, he gathers to himself all the nations and takes captive all the peoples. The Babylonians were driven by their greed. They weren't thinking about God at all. They conquered the surrounding nations in order to build an empire for themselves. The Babylonians thought they had it all, but in reality, they were about to lose it all. God would judge the nation of Babylon for its all consuming greed. The coming judgment is described in great detail in Habakkuk 2 6 to 20. Verse 6 reads, Will not all of them taunt him with ridicule and scorn, saying, and then follows with what is called a taunt song, and that is a song or poem designed to mock or scorn another. In this particular song, Babylon is mocked by the very nations it conquered. And although the song is obviously directed against Babylon, Babylon is never mentioned by name. The words are generalized in such a way that the song could apply to anyone who acts in the way Babylon acted. Do you want to know how to lose it all? You just have to follow man's way, which is summed up by Jesus with these words: What does it profit a man if he gains the whole world yet loses his soul? Matthew 16, verse 26. Man's way is a way of selfishness and greed. The taunt song in this book of Habakkuk is made of 5 different woes, each of which identifies a specific sin of greed or selfishness and then pronounces God's judgment upon that sin. Babylon's greed manifests itself in theft, injustice, violence, exploitation, and idolatry. But to what profit? The irony of the song is that those who practice these things may think that they are gaining wealth, security, power, pleasure, guidance, and direction, which in reality they lose it all they hope to gain. First one, theft, verses 6 to 8. Let's look at verse 6. Woe to him who piles up stolen goods and makes himself wealthy by extortion. How long must this go on? When we think about stealing, we think of someone breaking into someone's house or robbing a bank. But these are not the only ways. We have stolen in many ways. We can steal by taking things back from the office that do not belong to us, by loafing on the job, by leaving early or arriving late, or by calling in sick when we are well. We can steal by overpricing goods or services, by cheating on the taxes. Students steal in school by cheating, by plagiarizing papers. Stealing is a much bigger problem than breaking into a house or bank. We are stealing anytime we take something that is rightfully not ours. Exodus 20, verse 15, God made it a part of 10 commandments. You shall not steal. Let's confess and repent and ask God for grace to keep us watch over this sin. Be blessed.